Time of origin of angiosperms. There are several views regarding the time of origin of the earliest angiosperms. First, some botanists suggested that the angiosperms originated in the early Mesozoic or even the late Paleozoic, that is about 250 million or more years ago, and that they underwent extensive diversification by the Actian Albian stages of the lower Cretaceous period. However, there is no dependable fossil record from the pre-Cretaceous period. The best available evidence from the fossil record indicates that the angiosperm originated during the early Cretaceous period about 130 to 135 million years ago. Some botanists suggested that angiosperm originated in the early Mesozoic or even the late Paleozoic, that is about 250 million or more years ago, and that they underwent extensive diversification by the Actian Albian stages of the lower Cretaceous period. However, there is no dependable fossil record from the pre-Cretaceous period. The best available evidence from the fossil records indicates that the angiosperms originated during the early Cretaceous period about 130 to 135 million years ago. First, pre-Cretaceous angiosperm. The appearance of monocots and dicot angiosperms in the fossil record without transitional forms has led workers to search for pre-Cretaceous angiosperm. Several authors have also hypothesized the possible mechanism of the evolutionary changes. Many of the purported pre-angiosperm ancestors have angiosperms, leaf character, net-like venation pattern, which had arisen independently in several clades. Samenguela is a herbaceous plant of the late Triassic whose leaves, although appearing palm-like, lack the mid-veins and petioles features of true palms. This enigmatic plant has been allied by some workers with the cycads, whereas others have allied it with pteridosperms. Ferricula is also a late Triassic genus, which shows angiosperm leaf characteristics along with that of other groups, which include a fourth midrib, primary veins from which secondary veins arise, intercostal veins between these anastomas to form a reticulate pattern that delimits poorly defined areoles. Stomata are syndactylic, which is also an angiosperm characters. Third, Paniolica, a late Triassic leaf, is the only known specimen having brachydodromous secondary veins with tertiary veins forming a loop outside the secondary loops, which is also an angiospermic character. Marcua is another late Triassic pinnate leaf, which is palmately compound with four pinnate that are basally united. Secondary veins originated from a well-defined midrib, dichotomized and anastomos. This genus probably does not have any relation to angiosperms. Monopulpate pollen grains having an outer exine which is differentiated into a well-defined tectum supported by columella. Characteristics of angiosperms have been described from the late Triassic and early Jurassic. The leaf impression from Triassic and Jurassic deposits, which have been attributed to angiosperm, are disputable. Similarly, The pollen from the pre-Cretaceous deposits are also very problematic and in most cases have proved to be pollen grains of gymnosperms. Even some deposits of this period, which were considered to be pollen grains of angiosperm, at one time have been suggested to be the unicellular green algae Tetradron. Pollen sequence have clearly shown a pattern of increasing diversity in the Cretaceous form primitive types in older strata to more derived types in younger sediments. The first monosulcate angiosperm pollen grains, characteristics of the primitive dicotyledons and the monocotyledons appear in the Permian stage of the lower Cretaceous. Tricolpate pollen grains, characteristics of more advanced dicotyledons, were first reported from slightly younger Aptian rocks. The increasing diversity of pollen through the Cretaceous indicates that angiosperms underwent much diversification during this period. Further recent investigation have shown that double fertilization, anastomazing leaf venation, reduction of the male gametophyte, tetrasporic megagametophyte with free nuclei serving as eggs and a feeder in the embryo. The primary characters of angiosperms occur sporadically in ephedra and a Velvetian type reproductive structure Archistrobilus, found in the late Triassic of Texas, which has been interpreted to have been a precursor to angiosperm. Thus, there is little doubt that angiospermic features originated from a gymnosperm ancestor. Recently, however, a fossil of Archaeofructus Linogenus, the world's oldest flower, from a lake deposit in China, in which limestones and volcanic ashes accumulated, exhibiting the presence of close carpel, was found, revealing that angiosperms were present in the late Jurassic. Pollen and pollen-bearing organs were not found in the specimen, whether Archaefructus flower were unisexual or bisexual also remain unknown. Second, Upper Cretaceous angiosperms. The Upper Cretaceous period is marked by the abundance of genera and families of angiosperms. The floras of the Vancouver Island, Amboy Clays of New Jersey, the basin of the Rocky Mountain system, Dakota sandstone near Karns, Nebraska and Minnesota, etc. were particularly rich in angiospermous genera, which altogether account for about 700 to 750 forms, of which most are preferably to extant genera. Several fossil forms, including abundant fruits and seeds, have been described subsequently from the tertiary floras of Europe and western United States, the Valangnian deposit of southern France and northern California. Angiosperms steadily and progressively occupied all visitated area of the world from Albian to Cenomanian times, none of which could however be classified in recent families. Angiosperms appear to be comparatively rare up to Albian time, apparently forming only small population with smaller number of individuals. Occurrence of angiosperms, woods, leaves, pollens, etc. become considerably more numerous from Aptian Albian times onward and become widely distributed throughout the world at the close of the Albian period or towards the middle of the Cretaceous period, during which they appear in great diversity of form and quickly became dominant. Most of these Cretaceous angiosperms belong to the extant genera and there are representative of both more or less primitive forms as well as the highly evolved ones. Place of origin of angiosperms. There are three divergent views regarding the place of the origin of angiosperm, which are under mention. First, the hypothesis of Arctic or Antarctic origin. The dominant view regarding the origin of angiosperm during the late 19th and early 20th century had been that the angiosperms originated high in the northern latitudes and even in the polar regions. This hypothesis holds that angiosperms originated in the polar regions of Holarctic and from the polar Arctic and Antarctic regions. The angiosperms spread in successive waves across the whole earth. It provides an easy explanation for the present distribution of many genera in widely separated continents, chiefly the Northern America and the Eastern Asia. This view has, however, been disputed for a more tropical center of origin between 45° north to 45° south, as at the beginning of the Cretaceous angiosperms were found only between 45° north and 45° south latitudes, and not beyond these, from which they migrate towards the polar regions. The fossil evidences suggest that it was not until the late Cretaceous that angiosperms established in the Arctic as angiosperm fossil from the early Cretaceous have been found only at low latitudes. According to Hickey et al., the Arctic may have been an important site for some level of floral evolution in the late Cretaceous. It is only at the end of the early Cretaceous that angiosperm reach higher latitude, eventually replacing the relic Jurassic flora at higher latitude towards the end of the Mesozoic. Thus, Takhtajan is of the opinion that the hypothesis of Arctic or Antarctic origin of angiosperm must be firmly rejected. Second, the theory of the Southeast Asian center of origin. The angiosperm center of origin has been predicted to be in Southeastern Asia. Hallier proposed that the angiosperm originated first in the basin of the Pacific Ocean at places such as New Zealand, New Caledonia, Andes, and Hawaiian Island. Takhtajan has just suggested that the cradle of angiosperms occurs somewhere between Assam and Fiji, including Burma, Thailand, Indochina, and Malaysia. Due to the high abundance of primitive angiosperms families, for example, Amborelaceae, Astrobeliaceae, Calicanthaceae, Digenariaceae, Eupotamiaceae, Gomartigaceae, Hematandraceae, Lactoriadaceae, Magnoliaceae, Trochodendroceae, Tetracentraceae, Winteraceae, etc., found in that region of the Pacific Ocean. However, this does not mean that all primitive angiosperms are concentrated in the southeastern Asia. They occur outside this region as well. Takhtajan therefore consider Southeast Asia to be the most likely region where angiosperm originated, and descendant of the first angiosperm may have dispersed far from their point of origin. The lack of fossil evidences is the serious drawback of this theory. The present acceptance of the theory is largely based on the study of distribution and comparative morphology of presumably primitive angiosperms. Next theory, species pump hypothesis. According to Stebbins, the tropical rainforest with equable climate have most probably served as the museum rather than cradle of angiosperm. That is, they are not the communities within which angiosperms originated and differentiated, but they have preserved the diversified plant group because of low rate of extension. He proposed that active and rapid speciation leading to the origin of diversified group of angiosperm is likely to occur in marginal or emotional regions of tropical forest. Due to increasing drought, the museum hypothesis is supported by the fact that tropical forests do not contain any transitional forms, or when present, they are less abundant. However, they contain a complete spectrum of families ranging from the most primitive to the most advanced form. According to the species pump hypothesis developed by Valentine, the newer populations produced in the marginal areas are pumped into the stable communities of tropical forest from time to time. Thus, angiosperm in all probabilities have developed in semi-arid situations marked by seasonal drought and a short season favorable for the formation of flowers and seeds. The regions in which climatic factors have greatly promoted the diversification of modern flora are the Ethiopian highlands, the Cape region of South Africa, part of the Indian peninsula, the coast of Ecuador, south central Mexico, northern Venezuela, and the northern provinces of Argentina. Ancestors of origin of angiosperm: first, Pteridosperms theory; second, Benititelian theory; third, Nathanielian theory. First theory, Pteridosperms theory. The pteridosperms are also known as Thecadophilicales or seed ferns. They are so called because the plant shows fern-like leaves. Some of them bears leaves associated with cycad-like stem, showing differences in stem anatomy with ferns. They bear true seeds. They were reported abundantly from Upper Devonian to Permian of Paleozoic age. Plants are often monoecious, but micro and megasporophylls are not arranged in definite strobili. Based on the above characteristics of stem, leaf, and seeds, they are considered as the probable ancestor of Benititales. The various evidences of interpretation discuss the possibilities of cycadales, Benititales, or any other gymnosperms to be the ancestors of angiosperm. Therefore, emphasis was given to the pteridosperms as the possible ancestor. Cronquist stated that it is a long way morphologically from any known seed ferns to an angiosperm, but each of the difference could logically be bridged in the course of evolution. The angiosperm show double fertilization with triploid endosperm, possibly due to reduction of female gametophyte. Likewise, sepals originate from leaves and petals from both sepals and stamens. Thus, the evolution of an angiospermic flower can be traced from cones or cone-like structure of gymnosperm. Furthermore, the primitive angiosperms like Magnolia lack vessels in secondary wood, is similar to seed ferns. Thus, angiosperm could have evolved from pteridospermous ancestry. Millwell stated that the reproductive branch of Glossopteridales, that is pteridosperm, is somewhat comparable with the present-day angiosperm Decaptelum. The external similarity of Benititales with angiosperm can also be explained in terms of common ancestry of both these groups in the pteridosperms. Takhtajan in 1969 stated that the angiosperms arose from some very ancient group of gymnosperms which must have had primitive secondary xylem of scalariform tracheids. at least in the early wood and primitive bisexual strobili. The strobili must have been a type that could have diverged to given rise to the primitive Benititalian strobilus and the primitive angiosperm flowers. Second theory, Benititalian theory. According to Saporta and Marion in 1885 and Urber and Parkin in 1907, the Benititales of gymnosperm is the possible ancestor of angiosperm. They considered Benititales as the possible ancestor of angiosperm due to similarities between the strobili of Cycadioidea, a Mesozoic genus, and the flower of Magnolia. Similarities, both the structure, strobili and flower are bisexual, having an elongated central axis. Second, in Cycadioidea, the different parts like bract, microsporophylls, and megasporophylls are arranged from the bottom towards the apex, while in Magnolia, perianth, stamens, and carpels are arranged in a similar way. In spite of the above superficial similarities, both the group shows much differences by the detailed investigation. The differences are the differences are difference first stem. Benititalian stem have a thick cortex, a comparatively thin vascular cylinder, and a large pith, but the angiospermic plants have thin cortex, a thick vascular cylinder, and a small pith. Second, microsporophyll stamens. In Benititales, the microsporophylls are arranged in whorl and mostly connate, but in Magnolia, the stamens are free and spirally arranged on the axis. Third, megasporophylls, that is carpels. In Benititales, the megasporophylls are greatly reduced, having a simple stalk on which a single terminal ovule is present. Interseminal scales, that is sterile scales, are present in between megasporophylls for protection. The flower of Magnolia does not show such a structure. The fourth, micropylar tube. The micropylar tube is present in Benititle, but such a structure is unknown in angiosperms. Seeds. The seeds of Benititles are X albuminous, that is non-endospermic, having a large embryo, but the seeds of primitive angiosperms are albuminous, that is endospermic, and with a small embryo. The above fact shows that Benititles is not in a position to be considered as the ancestor of angiosperm. Both the groups show much a difference than the similarities. The above similarities may result due to common ancestry of parallel evolution. According to Urber and Parkin, both the groups have a common origin from seed forms and they might have diverged very early. Latter, Takhtajan in 1980 mentioned in his classification that Magnoliophyta are regarded to be monophyletic in origin, most probably derived from Benititle-like ancestor or stalks ancestral to them. Nettles angiosperm theory. Richard von Wettstein in 1901 emphasized the close relationship between nettles and angiosperm. After modifying the Engler system as mentioned in Handbuch der Systematik Botanik, later on McGrath in 1930 and Fagerlind in 1947 boldly supported that above view, Fagerlind demonstrated the homology among the three genera of nettles, Ephedra, Welwitschia, and Netum, and proposed that nettles and proangiosperm evolved from a common ancestor. Similarities between nattles and angiosperm. Presence of two cotyledons, vessels in the secondary wood, venation reticulate, unisexual inflorescence similarly to catkin of many amentifers. In Welwitschia, the male flowers are actually bisexual, formed by reduction of female organ. Stamens of Ephedra, Welwitschia, and Natum are apparently similar to Angiosperm. The female flower of all the above three genera have two more envelope around the nucellus like the perianth of Angiosperm. The well-developed micropylar tube formed by the elongation of the inner envelope of the ovule of female flowers look like the style of angiosperm flower. Female gametophyte of natum is tetrasporic and without archigonia like angiosperm. First division of zygote in natum is accompanied by cell wall formation like angiosperms. Differences between nattles and angiosperm. Natum have vessels in secondary wood, while it is absent in some primitive dicots like tetracedron, trichodendron, etc. The vessels of nattles originated in an entirely different way from those of angiosperm. The presence of scalariform pettate tracheids, a characteristic of primitive angiosperm, is absent in both primary and secondary xylem of natum, while circular border pits appear in natum during the ontogeny of secondary xylem. Natum also differs from angiosperm in respect of development of vessels. Based on the above discussion, it can be said that the similarities between natum and certain angiosperm is now considered as superficial and appear due to tilting towards convergence during evolution. Similarities in the number of cotyledons too also appear due to convergence. The angiosperm might have been evolved from polycotyledonous ancestor rather than dicotyledonous one. The polycotyledons, that is 3 to 4 cotyledons, is reported in an extinct genus Digenaria, a primitive group of angiosperm. The absence of archigonia in natum indicates its affinity with angiosperm due to parallelism, but the vascular anatomy strongly opposes any suggestion regarding the relationship between angiosperms and nattles. References: Angiosperm taxonomy by V.N. Naik and biology discussion. बंद केला अगं तू ते गॅस कडे पाहून ये ना. गॅस मध्ये कोणाला फक्त हे स्टॉप केलं, पुढचं पॉज केलं, बंद करायचं काही त्याचे. हा एंड करायचे.